Today, December 9th, Archangel Michael says, only 10 seconds remain. God keeps calling you, but you ignore it. Don't skip again. Something sudden is unlocking for you. My beloved child, listen to me now, for this moment has been marked in heaven long before you opened your eyes today. This is not a coincidence, not an accident, not a random moment of scrolling. Time has paused for you, even if clocks still tick. Heaven has created a stillness so that nothing interrupts what I am speaking right now. You have reached a moment where your life bends, where the old version of you dissolves, and where something new begins to breathe inside your destiny. There are 10 spiritual seconds resting over you. 10 seconds where angels lean closer, where clarity enters the fog, and where every doubt quiets. These seconds are not earthly seconds. They do not rush. They do not expire the way human time does. These are seconds of divine alignment. And in these seconds, I am asking you not to look away, not to dismiss, not to hurry. Stay present, because presence is the doorway to everything you have prayed for. Many times you begged for signs, and when signs appeared, pain made you turn your head. You asked for answers, but exhaustion made you close your heart. You prayed for reassurance, yet you doubted the reassurance when it came. But now I am speaking clearly, so you cannot confuse it. I choose this exact moment because your spirit is finally still enough to receive, ready enough to understand, open enough to believe. Listen deeply. You are closer to breakthrough than you have ever been. You are standing in the final seconds before something shifts behind the curtain of your reality. You have reached the moment that those who quit never arrive to. You did not quit. You endured. You survived the chapter that was supposed to break you. You held on when release seemed easier. And because of that endurance, something new is permitted. This is why heaven has paused time. This is why the air around your soul feels different. Something has been released that your future self will thank you for. Your name is echoing in places you have not walked into yet. Your blessing is traveling toward you without delay now. And when it arrives, it will not arrive gradually. It will come suddenly, unmistakably, undeniably, like the sound of a door unlocking after years of silence. So remain here. Breathe here. Feel how this moment holds you. Do not skip what is meant to cradle your life into alignment. The seconds are active now, and as they complete, so will the waiting. And when the waiting ends, your spirit will expand. Peace will settle where anxiety once lived. Provision will enter where scarcity tried to root itself. Love will find you without demands. Opportunity will reach you without strain. And the life you thought was slipping away will reveal itself to have been forming beneath the surface of your prayers all along. It will rise beautifully, unmistakably, undeniably, and you will know you were never forgotten, truly overlooked, ever again, fully. My beloved child, remain still and listen, for I speak to you as one who has walked beside you through every storm, even when you did not know my presence was there. I am Michael, the protector of your path, the defender of your destiny, and I have been calling to you for so long. There were nights when your heart cried silently, and though you assumed no one heard, I was standing over you, guarding your spirit so darkness could not bury your hope. You felt alone, but you were never unshielded. There have been so many moments when I whispered guidance, when heaven tried to place clarity in front of you, yet distraction pulled you away. You scrolled past what was meant to strengthen you, you walked away from moments that could have restored you, you dismissed messages that carried answers you prayed for. Not because you were ungrateful, but because fatigue blinded you and disappointment numbed you. I have watched those moments, and I did not judge you, but I waited. And now I call again. Do not move. Do not rush past this moment. Do not think there is something else you must do before hearing me fully. Stay. Let these words settle inside your spirit before your mind argues them away. Let this message reach the places you never voice, but always worry about. You do not need to fix anything while listening. You only need to remain open. When life became heavy, you believed withdrawing would protect you, yet withdrawing only silenced the answers you were meant to receive. When pain made you close your heart, you assumed closure would make you safe, yet it made you empty. You walked away from hope because hope required belief. But listen now, belief is returning. I have called you in dreams that felt too real to be imagination. I have gently tugged at your spirit when you felt restless for no reason. I have made certain words stand out, certain signs repeat, certain timing align, but your mind dismissed what your spirit recognized. And yet, heaven has not removed the invitation. It remains open. You are becoming ready. You are in the moment where obedience will open what fear once blocked. You are not late. You did not miss your chance. Heaven holds what belongs to you until you are strong enough to receive it. You are strong enough now. So hear me clearly, the next chapter does not require your exhaustion, only your willingness. You are not being asked to perform, to prove, or to earn. You are being asked to acknowledge the voice that has pursued you. Stay where you are. Listen deeper than words. Let your heart soften again. For I have been calling you, and now you are finally hearing. And what comes next will no longer slip through your fingers. You are transitioning from avoidance into alignment, from retreat into arrival, and you will not miss what heaven is revealing now. My beloved child, I need you to breathe, because I saw what you never voiced. I saw the nights when you held your own hands to keep from shaking. I saw you trying to convince yourself that tomorrow would be kinder, even when tomorrow kept repeating yesterday's pain. You thought silence made your pain invisible, but heaven heard it louder than your spoken words. Nothing in you went unnoticed. Nothing you survived went unseen. You hid what hurt you because you believed exposing it would make you vulnerable, yet hiding only deepened your wounds. But I was watching. I saw the financial weight that pressed against your chest. I watched you stretch what was not enough, watched you give when you barely had anything left for yourself. I saw the frustration when promises fell through, when stability seemed fragile, when fear whispered that you would not recover. But I also saw your courage, how you refused to complain when others depended on you. I recorded every sacrifice. I counted every time you pretended to be fine so no one would worry. I saw emotional exhaustion settle in your bones like winter frost. You woke tired, moved tired, slept tired, and yet you kept showing up. You encouraged others while no one encouraged you. You poured strength from empty places. And when your heart ached from carrying what should have belonged to multiple shoulders, I wrapped you so you did not collapse. You thought no one knew, but I knew. I saw the loneliness that made silence feel heavy. I saw how rejection pierced deeper than words. You feared you were replaceable, forgotten, overlooked. You believed something must be wrong with you, when the truth was that you had grown beyond those who no longer understood your spirit. They left not because you lacked value but because you were elevating. They could not walk where you were destined. And every tear that slipped unseen, every prayer whispered into pillows, every moment you carried grief in secret, I recorded it. You assumed heaven was distant, yet your pain became holy evidence of endurance. And because you endured, something new has legal permission to arrive. Restoration is not random, it is documented. Blessing does not guess, it follows record. You will not remain unseen, because everything hidden within you is now rising into visibility. Heaven has not forgotten a single moment of awakening. The emotional bruises you hid will now heal openly. Provision is already being released to replace what was drained. Relationships that honor your heart are forming. Peace is gathering around you like warm light. You are stepping into days where you will not pretend to be okay, because you will be okay. Your tears are testimonies, your waiting is harvest, and you will look back knowing that every unnoticed moment was seen, counted, and transformed into something beautiful. My beloved child, hear me with clarity, the delay you experienced was not punishment. You assumed silence meant rejection, but silence was protection. You believed paused timing meant denial, yet it meant preservation. I did not withhold because you were unworthy, I withheld because the path was not ready to hold you safely. You asked to move quickly, but acceleration would have placed you in places that were not stable, around people who were not loyal, inside situations that would not honor you. The delay saved you. There were relationships you begged to keep, but they would have drained the life from your spirit. There were opportunities you thought were perfect, yet beneath their surface were hidden motives, unstable structures, and premature promises. You felt doors close, but those doors were sealed because harm waited behind them. You interpret closed doors as loss, but heaven counts them as rescue. I did not let you fall somewhere you would not grow. When the blessing seemed slow, it was being shaped. When resources didn't arrive, they were being increased. When conversations faded, it was because the intentions were wrong. The delay was the divine clearing of unworthy attachments. It was pruning disguised as pause. You thought your future was collapsing, but I was eliminating dead weight that would have sabotaged your rise. Understand this, a blessing delivered too early becomes a burden. A promise accessed prematurely becomes instability. So I stretched time, not to frustrate you, but to develop you. I protected your heart, strengthened your discernment, and expanded your resilience. You were not waiting for the blessing was waiting for you to reach a version of yourself that would handle it wisely. You prayed for partnership, yet the person you thought was right would have diminished your identity. You asked for opportunity, yet certain spaces would have celebrated your skill while diminishing your worth. So I delayed. I interrupted momentum you were not meant to trust. I removed access you might have depended on more than me. And though it hurt, that hurt saved your destiny. Now you are stepping into a moment where delay has completed its work. Nothing was lost. It was rerouted. Nothing was denied. It was elevated. And soon you will see that what replaced what you once wanted is safer, purer, lasting. The delay was not punishment, it was alignment. It was heaven arranging answers so they would not collapse. And because you endured what you misunderstood, you are entering a release that will not break you. You will receive without fear of losing. You will walk without fear of repeating old pain. The waiting developed wisdom, strength, and clarity inside you. And now what is unfolding will prove that every moment withheld was meant to protect your life, preserve your peace, and secure your future. My beloved child, listen carefully, for this moment has a sound in the spirit. Something has begun moving on your behalf, and it is not slow, not distant, not waiting for later. It is now. The shift you prayed for has already been released into motion. The calendar aligned, the spiritual window opened, and timing has synchronized with destiny. Heaven does not speak this over every season, but this season carries acceleration. You are stepping into days where what once took months will take moments, what once felt delayed will unfold suddenly, and what seemed unreachable will stand directly in front of you. The stillness has lifted. The waiting has expired. The season of being on pause has ended. Things that felt stuck, muted, postponed, or suspended will begin moving with visible speed. Even areas that appeared lifeless will show signs of resurrection. You will see sudden communication, sudden clarity, sudden opportunities, sudden provision, sudden connections. It will appear unexpected, but everything arriving now has been forming for a long time. This is not random movement, it is prepared movement. Acceleration does not mean chaos, it means alignment. Doors opening now are not unstable. Hands reaching toward you now are not deceptive. Circumstances shifting now are not temporary. They have been measured, prepared, and approved. What I withheld before is now safe to release. What you were not ready for, you have grown into. And because you endured rather than abandoning the process, you are qualified to receive without fear. Where you felt stagnant, you will now feel momentum. Where you prayed with uncertainty, you will now pray with assurance. Where you pushed alone, support will begin forming around you. Where you saw no alternatives, options will appear. Do not be surprised when something changes instantly. Do not question when someone suddenly reaches out, when an answer appears, when clarity arrives without effort. Suddenness is not instability, it is fulfillment. You are entering days where life will catch up to what God already declared over you. The spiritual timing has ripened. The harvest that looked delayed was simply maturing unseen. You thought nothing was happening, yet everything was aligning. What you feared losing, you will now receive securely. What you considered impossible, you will see materialize. You are not rebuilding from scraps, you are receiving from overflow. The acceleration comes not because you rushed, but because you remained. And understand this, acceleration does not ask permission from your past. It does not consult your failures. It does not negotiate with disappointment. When the moment arrives, it moves. So prepare your heart to witness sudden reversal, sudden favor, and sudden restoration. Prepare to wake up one morning and realize the heaviness left you. Prepare to see what blocked you dissolve without struggle. This is the season where heaven moves first, and you simply follow. Your life is shifting now. Not someday, not soon, now. The delay has ended, and acceleration has begun. My beloved child, what is changing now is not only around you, but within you. Before circumstances shift, peace is entering your spirit in a way you have not felt in a very long time. The tension that used to live behind your ribs is beginning to loosen. The heaviness that pressed on your chest is lifting. The confusion that tangled your thoughts is unraveling. What once felt like constant mental warfare is dissolving, and clarity is taking its rightful place. You have spent months, perhaps years, feeling emotionally drained even when nothing external was wrong. That numbness was not failure, it was fatigue from surviving too much without receiving enough. You learned to function without feeling safe. You learned to smile without certainty. You learned to move while wondering if tomorrow would collapse beneath you. But now peace is entering, not as a temporary relief, but as a foundation. This new season does not demand emotional strength, it gifts emotional rest. I am softening the inner places that hardened from disappointment. I am restoring the parts of your heart that stopped expecting goodness. You do not need to force hope, hope is returning naturally. You do not need to invent strength, strength is rising inside you. The storm has ended, not because the world changed first, but because the winds inside you have stilled. Where panic once lived, you will find stability. Where fear once whispered worst-case scenarios, calmness will anchor you. The anxious habits you formed out of survival will begin to dissolve. You will notice that things that once overwhelmed you no longer carry weight. The noise inside your mind is quieting, and you will realize the silence is not emptiness, it is peace. Do not question this peace. Do not assume it is temporary. Peace is not the absence of problems, it is the presence of alignment. This peace is restoring your rhythms, sleep, focus, appetite, motivation. You will wake without dread. You will breathe without bracing. You will move without constantly checking if something will collapse. The shift begins inward so that nothing external can destabilize you again. Peace will settle so deeply that even when challenges arise, they will not shake your identity. You will respond from centeredness, not panic. From clarity, not confusion. And soon you will feel your spirit expanding again. New ideas will form. Forgotten dreams will breathe. Joy will return without needing explanation. You will laugh and mean it. You will rest and actually recover. You will think about your future and not tense. Peace is not visiting you, it is inhabiting you. You are being rebalanced, emotionally, spiritually, energetically. The war within is ending, and this inner rest will shape everything outward. You will attract differently, choose differently, speak differently, walk differently, not because you are trying harder, but because peace has become your new normal. My beloved child, listen closely, for I know how deeply relationships have shaped your pain. People left when you were loyal. People distanced themselves when you needed closeness. You tried to hold together what was already falling apart, and you questioned yourself, wondering what was wrong with you. But hear me, nothing was wrong with you. Those exits were guided. Those departures were protection disguised as loss. I removed hands that only wanted what you could give, not who you were. There were people who loved your strength but resented your growth. They celebrated you when you were small, but withdrew when you began to rise. Their leaving was not abandonment, it was spiritual filtration. I could not allow those who drained you to walk into your elevation. They would have taken advantage of blessing that was meant to restore you. So, when they walked away, heaven closed the door behind them. Relationships that exhausted you were not sustainable. You poured until emptiness became normal. You explained yourself when you should have been understood without pleading. You lowered your voice, step, and worth just to keep peace. But true connection is not held together by sacrifice alone. True companionship reciprocates. I watched you hold everyone, while no one held you back. Now hear this, the season of emotional depletion has ended. A new relational alignment is forming. You will not chase love. You will not beg for loyalty. You will not shrink for belonging. Those meant to stay will show up with consistency. They will honor your heart instead of draining it. They will match energy instead of extracting it. You will see effort without persuading. You will experience commitment without confusion. You are stepping into relationships where you will be chosen, not tolerated. Where your presence will be valued, not used. Where you will be understood, not explained endlessly. I am sending individuals who know partnership, who recognize your depth, who communicate with clarity, loyalty, and sincerity. They will not compete with your calling, they will protect it. Do not mourn what walked away. Nothing essential leaves. What remains is divine. Some connections will be restored, but not as they once were, restored through healing, maturity, honesty, and growth. For others, restoration will come through replacement, someone new stepping into space someone old abandoned. And these new bonds will not require performing. You will be loved because you exist, not because you prove. There will be reconciliation where needed, disconnection where necessary, alignment where overdue. Your circle is being rewritten by design. Only those who can handle your future will walk into it. Only those who recognize your value will remain close. Only those who carry integrity will be given access. You will not question intentions anymore. Intentions will reveal themselves clearly. And you will see the difference between who loved your presence and who loved your benefits. This time, you will be met with the same love you give. You will be poured into just as you pour. And the relationships entering now will finally feel like home. My beloved child, listen with expectancy, for the season of drought is lifting and the air around your destiny is shifting. What dried up will begin flowing again. What was taken will return, and what was delayed will arrive with increase. You thought you lost resources forever, but heaven never subtracts without multiplying. The withholding was temporary, but the release is lasting. You are entering days where provision will not trickle, it will pour. Where opportunity will not hide, it will find you directly. There are opportunities that slipped from your hands, not because you failed, but because they were premature. There were doors that closed, not because you were unqualified, but because the room behind them was unstable. But now the ground has matured, and what once rejected you will request you. Places that overlooked you will call your name. People who doubted your potential will watch results manifest without effort. Your work has not gone unnoticed. Your discipline, your faithfulness, your quiet endurance, your humility, these have gathered spiritual credit. There are unseen advocates speaking your name in rooms you have not entered. There are conversations being had about your role, your gift, your value, and you do not even know they are happening. I have positioned voices that will recommend you, favor that will defend you, and provision that will arrive through unfamiliar channels. Do not worry about how it will unfold. Provision does not need logic, it needs alignment. You have entered alignment. Financial weight is lifting. Unexpected support will appear. Refunds, approvals, clearances, and breakthrough decisions are already being finalized. The money that always seemed one step away will fall into place. The project that stalled will begin moving. The closed door that frustrated you will reopen, stronger, cleaner, safer. And it will no longer require struggle. Where you once operated out of scarcity, you will operate from overflow. You will have enough, not only for yourself, but to bless others without draining. You will see a divine reversal. What was lost will return better, fuller, multiplied. Even in your career or life direction, clarity will replace confusion. Where you once guessed, you will now know. Where you once forced progress, progress will greet you. Where you once wondered if you chose incorrectly, you will see how every detour shaped preparation. Do not fear change, embrace it. You are not being replaced, you are being elevated. Your identity is not dissolving, it is being affirmed. Your gift is not hidden, it is being revealed at the correct time. The drought was needed so appreciation could form. Scarcity taught you stewardship. Waiting taught you wisdom. Lack taught you identity. Now provision will teach you rest. Your hands will not remain empty. Your efforts will not remain unseen. Your path will not remain uncertain. What left is returning, better, stronger, stable, approved. And when it arrives, you will not feel anxiety about losing it, because this time, what comes is rooted by heaven, sealed by alignment, strengthened by preparation, and covered by peace. My beloved child, lean in, for what I am about to reveal is not common. There are ordinary days, ordinary seasons, ordinary cycles, but this is not one of them. What surrounds you right now is rare alignment, the kind that does not repeat easily. Heaven has opened a window, and spiritual permission has been granted for acceleration, restoration, and fulfillment. This window is not permanent, it is intentional, brief, and specifically marked for you. Do not treat this like every other moment, for every other moment did not carry this level of favor. You are standing in an intersection of destiny where timing, readiness, spiritual maturity, and divine orchestration converge together. This is not coincidence, it is design. You reached a spiritual threshold that many abandon before crossing. You endured long enough to qualify for what is being released. Doors that once resisted you will now respond. Conversations that were stagnant will suddenly move. Roads that were hidden will reveal access. Heaven does not always accelerate with this intensity. There are windows appointed for breakthrough, and you have stepped into one. You are not early, not late, but precisely aligned. The shift occurring now cannot be delayed, because the timing has matured. The blessing has ripened. The preparation has completed. What once needed patience now needs presence. This moment asks that you do not scroll away from signs, do not doubt what is unfolding, do not minimize what your spirit is sensing. For many seasons you lived unaware of timing, but now timing is calling your attention. The hesitation you carried before will not serve you here. Fear cannot interpret what faith is unlocking. You must allow belief to guide you, not memory. Understand this: when heaven opens a window, life moves differently. You will notice confirmations repeating. You will see sequences of alignment. People will reach out unexpectedly. Ideas will form without pressure. Paths will appear where logic sees none. This is evidence that the window is active. In this window, speed is not rush, it is grace. Suddenness is not chaos, it is fulfillment. Opportunities are not coincidence, they are strategic placement. But listen closely, alignment requires acknowledgement. If you treat this like an ordinary moment, you will miss extraordinary movement. Do not shrink back. Do not assume later will be easier. Later will not hold this window. The spiritual atmosphere around you is calibrated. Angels are assigned. Favor is positioned. What belongs to you has been released into motion. The window is not here to tease, it is here to transfer. What was stored is now scheduled to manifest. So stay aware. Stay open. Stay anchored. You will look back and recognize this exact time as the turning point, when ordinary days turned divine, when delay dissolved, when heaven's window opened and your life crossed into fulfillment. And nothing after this moment will resemble what came before it. My beloved child, listen gently now, for what is needed from you in this moment is not effort, not strain, not performing, but receiving. You have spent so much time trying to prove you are worthy, trying to hold everything together, trying to keep peace by sacrificing yourself. But this season does not require you to earn anything. What is arriving is not a reward for perfection, it is a response to alignment. You are stepping into a place where stillness becomes strength, where surrender becomes access. You are not being asked to push harder. You are being asked to open. You are not being asked to solve your future. You are being invited to trust what has already been arranged. Your spirit has been tense for so long that peace felt unfamiliar, rest felt unsafe, and letting go felt like failure. But release is not failure. Release is permission. When you relax the grip, blessings can actually find you. Forgive what hurt you, not because it was acceptable, but because forgiveness returns your freedom. Forgiveness unfolds your wings again. You do not need closure to heal, you need openness to move forward. And when you release resentment, space forms for restoration. When you stop replaying the wound stops shaping your identity. Do not try to force timing anymore. You are not behind. You are not late. You are on divine schedule. You will not miss what belongs to you. What is meant for you does not require chasing. Blessings do not need to be hunted, they need to be welcomed. You receive by being present, not by being perfect. Let stillness become your prayer. Let surrender become your instruction. The blessing has already gathered itself, the breakthrough has already signed its approval. You are not being evaluated, you are being ushered. Heaven is not asking you to perform, heaven is asking you to align. Alignment requires softness, trust, willingness, not pressure. Allow joy to enter without suspicion. Allow peace to stay without preparing for disappointment. Allow support to show up without questioning intentions. Allow love to come without assuming loss will follow. You are being shifted from survival into belonging, from scarcity into sufficiency. You are already enough. You have already done enough. Now, open your heart like a door and let what has been waiting finally come in. You are not required to plan every detail. Divine order already holds what your mind cannot see. Stand still, not frozen, but rooted. And you will witness blessings that flow without force, answers that settle without confusion, breakthroughs that unfold without stress. Because this time, you are not climbing toward blessing, blessing is stepping toward you. My beloved child, look ahead for a moment, because what is forming before you will not resemble what you walked through. There will come mornings where you wake without heaviness, where your first thought is not fear, where you open your eyes and feel rested rather than weary. Your mind will be quieter, your emotions lighter, and your heart settled in a way you once believed was impossible. Peace will not visit occasionally, it will remain. You will step into rooms that once intimidated you and feel qualified to be there. You will speak without trembling. You will create without doubting. You will walk into opportunities without wondering if you belong. Not because ego has grown, but because your spirit has healed. Self-questioning will fade. Confidence will feel natural. You will no longer rehearse what might go wrong before celebrating what is going right. Financial pressure will loosen its grip. You will not count every expense anxiously. You will not fear unexpected changes. What was scattered will organize. What was insufficient will multiply. You will look at your account and breathe, not brace. You will feel security where instability once lived. Relationships will look different as well. Those who remain will honor you genuinely. There will be conversations with depth, laughter that feels real, closeness that doesn't drain you. A partner, a friend, a confidant, someone will mirror the love you give instead of extracting it. Trust will not be fragile. Connection will not be complicated. You will experience companionship where you are seen fully and respected deeply. Your routine will shift. Rushing will fade. Panic will loosen. You will move slower, but accomplish more. You will discover rhythms that nourish your soul rather than exhaust it. Home will feel like peace, not pressure. Your environment will reflect who you are becoming, not who you had to be to survive. And the dreams you buried? They will resurface. Ideas you abandoned will return with clarity. Doors will open that make sense of everything that was delayed. You will see why timing mattered. You will see how waiting protected you. You will see that nothing was wasted, not pain, not confusion, not silence. You will not recognize your life soon, not because life becomes unrelatable, but because it becomes healed. You will look at yourself with softness instead of criticism. You will move with certainty instead of apology. You will live from fullness instead of lack. Who you were was shaped by survival. Who you are becoming is shaped by promise. You are transitioning from endurance into enjoyment, from guarding yourself into receiving freely. And when you look back, you will not feel bitterness. You will feel gratitude. Not for the suffering, but for the transformation it created. Your new life will look nothing like the season that trained you. And soon, you will step into it fully, whole, grounded, favored, seen, safe, and beautifully aligned. My beloved child, before you move from this moment, receive what heaven has sealed over your life. Do not skip this moment, because it is not simply words, it is confirmation. It is release. It is covering. The breakthrough you have prayed for has already been assigned. The shift has already begun. What your heart has waited for is no longer forming, it is unfolding. You are not late. You are not forgotten. You are not behind schedule. You are right where alignment needed you to stand. Let peace settle over you like a gentle blanket across your spirit. Let assurance rise. You do not need to rush from this message. Allow these final words to settle deep inside your breath, your mind, your memory. You may return to them whenever your heart trembles, whenever fear attempts to return, whenever doubt tries to argue. These words will not stop working after they end, they will continue producing what has already been declared. My hand is over you. My protection surrounds you. My guidance will not leave you halfway. You will not begin this transition and walk alone. Doors will open, and you will not wonder whether to enter, you will know. Signs will appear, and you will not dismiss them, you will recognize them. Coincidences will gather, and you will understand that they are divine arrangements. Nothing about this moment is empty. You are stepping into days where peace will anchor you, where clarity will steady you, where blessing will settle without slipping. You do not need to chase certainty. Certainty is entering your life. You do not need to anticipate loss. Security is establishing itself around your future. Even now, angelic presence surrounds what concerns you. Even now, answers are softening what once felt impossible. So close your eyes for a moment, not to disconnect, but to absorb. Feel every word as a promise, not a prediction. Feel every sentence as completion, not hope postponed. Let your spirit repeat, it is happening now. And when doubt tries to whisper that nothing has changed, return to this moment. Re-listen. Re-anchor. Recenter. You are stepping into evidence, not imagination. Into reality, not spiritual suggestion. Into fulfillment, not one more cycle of waiting. The blessing is released, the timing secured, and the path cleared. Do not skip this moment. Do not minimize this shift. Honor it by believing it. Honor it by expecting it. Honor it by walking forward without apology. I have gone ahead of you, and because of that, nothing behind you will hold you hostage again. Move with peace, and move knowing that everything you need is already arriving, and nothing heaven approved for you can be undone. You will look back soon and say, "This was the moment everything turned." You will stand in answered prayers, and you will feel ease where strain used to live. This blessing is not halfway, it is whole, complete, and signed with heaven's seal of certainty. And you will never return to lack.